We're here with our 2025-26 Men's Ice Hockey Media Day, joined by senior defenseman Tanner Glasrud. Tanner, you have the numbers of penalties you took last year and penalty minutes. Talk about how you were able to play a more disciplined brand of hockey to be on the ice more for your team last year.
I just kind of took the approach of being more disciplined, even-keeled, kind of control my temper a little bit, and I figured I'm better on the ice than in the box, so I might as well help the guys out that way. So that's where I kind of came through with that.
Statistically speaking, last year was one of the best seasons in history of the program, which made the team last year so successful, especially defensively, only allowing 2.7 goals per game. What went into making program history, essentially, for the program?
Just having the guys buy in, basically, just being willing to block the shots, go to the dirty areas, just willing to work hard, I would say, just being a blue-collar mentality.
And then being one of the only two senior defensemen, talk about the role you play with the younger defensive core coming in this year.
Yeah, so I'm not the most fancy player, not the most skilled guy, but I'll be damned if I get outworked. So that's what I'm trying to show with the younger guys coming up. So just being the hardest worker out there.
And then finally, how do you hope to leave your mark on the program now that you're in your final season with the team?
I've actually thought about this question a little bit after reviewing the question. My thought is I'm not here to inspire anybody or leave my mark, but I'm here to do a job. And you can ask me that question again in March, see where we're at.
Right, we're here with senior goalie Benjamin Cunneen. Ben, you were coming off a historical season last year, both personally and for the program, after struggling your first two seasons. So talk a little bit about how you grew and evolved as a player to have a breakout year last year.
Yeah, absolutely. I really thought it was a whole mindset thing, especially for the whole group. We really came together last year, kind of every day, whether it was practice or a game. We were all bought into the same mentality. I mean, it was a learning process the first 2 years, so I think there were definitely some ups and downs. We had some positives that I think helped us build towards last year, and then we took those negatives and kind of built off them.
And then going off that, what have you done to prepare for the season and build on the performance you had last year between the pipes?
Yeah, so this summer I just got in the gym a lot. I was actually commuting to skate over 2 hours, so just trying to find ice, get on the ice, and keep that momentum going for the year.
And then next, this being a younger goalie room compared to last year, where I think it was like 3 seniors in there, and this being your senior season, what does your role look like in the locker room and on the ice for those guys?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we got Sammy coming back. Me and him have built a really good relationship, kind of on the ice and off the ice. And then John's come in as a freshman, and we've gotten along with him great. And I think it's just going to be, letting the guys know that we're all going towards the same goal here. We're going to push each other, but at the end of the day, what's best for the team. We're going to want us to succeed. But yeah, it's been great. I think we're going to have a really good year this year.
And then finally, breaking or tying so many records last season, what's one personal goal or record you hope to achieve during your senior year?
Yeah, so this year, biggest one is just winning the NE10. I think we got a really good chance to do it. I think we proved a lot of people wrong last year. I think we're going to continue to do that. I think those personal accolades are great, but I think if we keep winning games and, getting on the right path the entire year, sticking to the course, those personal accolades are going to come along with it for everyone. So,
right, we're here with seniors Joe Santoro and Connor Murray. Connor, first, talk about the development you've had over the course of your first 3 seasons with the program and how you've seen the program as a whole develop as well.
Yeah, I came in as a freshman. We were a pretty big class, new coaching, a lot of changes going on. So I think there's a lot of learning at first. As years gone on, I think we've got kids to buy in, and it's been a lot better as years have gone on, and expecting a lot this year. So.
And then Joe, talk about what your first year was like with the program after you transferred in, and what your experience was like with the team.
Yeah, it was great. Very, very easy transition, moving back home for me. So that part was very easy, and the guys made it even easier. We had a great group, fun group, close. Yeah, it was very easy. I think we took a lot of steps last year in the right direction.
And then, Connor, back to you. Last year was one of your best years offensively. How do you build on last year's success for yourself to help this team out?
I think just sticking to what Coach always has us do, playing my own game, just playing a simple, consistent 200-foot game, and yeah, the rest will just come as a team. So.
And then finally, Joe, you were also one of the leading players on offense, but also had a solid defensive side to your game. What goes into being a two-way player such as yourself who can get the job done on both ends of the ice?
Yeah, I think it starts with just taking pride in your defense. Everything in hockey starts in the D zone. Like, you can't play offense if you don't have the puck. So really just taking pride in your defense and committing to details. And, yeah, that's really it.
Right, we're finishing off our men's ice hockey media day with head coach Tim Richter in his 4th season. Tim, last year was one of the most successful seasons from a statistical and win perspective. What made that possible, given the good amount of the team was freshmen, and what kind of growth did you see from that freshman class as the season went on?
Yeah, so a lot of freshmen, like you said, but I think the biggest key for us was our leadership group. We had a strong leadership group that set the standard from day one, our culture brought our culture and our standards to a high level, and those guys kind of followed suit. And we asked a lot of our freshmen. We had 14 new incoming players, and they took their licks early on, but we stood our ground, and they definitely grew throughout the year. But you don't get that without a strong leadership group.
And then you bring back a majority of those players from last year to this year. How does having most of that group back help contribute to building on last year's success?
Yeah, so again, it just allows us to get into the nitty-gritty of our structure. Last year we did a lot of teaching as far as how we wanted to play structurally, and those guys having a full year, multiple years under their belt, allows us to kind of nitpick on certain items of our game, and we can get into our structure and not spend so much time on it in prior past.
And then from a coaching perspective, what has it meant to you to see the progress this program has made under your guidance during your first 3 seasons at the helm?
Yeah, it's definitely rewarding to see the growth of this program, and I've been here since the beginning, and you obviously have your ideas and what you want to do and bring to the table. And when I took over, my main focus was to continue to build a good foundation, not only on the ice but in the classroom and in the community, and I think we've done a tremendous job with that. And I commend our players, right? I think a lot of it has to do with our players and the commitment that they showed. And the vision that I've had, and they've kind of followed it through. The other piece of that is I've had a great coaching staff. They've done a tremendous job in identifying talent and getting talent here so that we can help develop them and be a competitive hockey club.
And then finally, what's your goal for the team this season, but also your goal as a coach to continue the growth you've had personally leading the program?
Yeah, so our goal, we talked about it at the end of last year. We've had some success, but definitely want more. And we want to win. We want to be an above 500 hockey club. So that was one of our main goals. And we want to win at least 2 playoff games. Because if we win at least 2 playoff games, we've either won the thing or we're in a championship match. So those are 2 main goals as a team that I'd love for us to attain. And I think they are attainable. And then for me to continue to foster and develop relationships with my players. At the end of the day, hockey will end, but being able to foster relationships and make sure that they're taking care of their business so that when hockey ends, they can get a job, they can start a family and remember the lessons that they learned playing at Post Hockey.
Head coach Tim Richter in his 4th season with the program. The men's ice hockey team will kick off at the beginning of November here at home against Western Connecticut State University.